What's going on? Just posting a little review here of Batman the Killing Joke. Now, it's not the actual graphic novel, but it's the animated movie they recently released into theaters through Fathom Events. And what I think of it before I get into the whole review, there might be minor spoilers, so just a heads up. I think it was a good adaptation. They added a few extra things in the beginning, but I'll get to that when we get to the review. But it was a decent adaptation, very faithful to the original, very, very psychologically. Like it like just disturbs you so much. This is not a movie for kids at all. Like how they said Deadpool wasn't a movie for kids, it's not. But I wouldn't want any kid under the age of 17 seeing this. This is psychologically messed up. And for those of you who've read the graphic novel, you already know. So the whole story is basically, it's more or less a definitive story of how the Joker came to be and why he's so psychotic. And there's this one big part where Joker shows up, and this is really a big spoiler. This is kind of like actual DC known knowledge by now. Joker just shows up in front of Barbara Gordon's apartment, shoots her point blank in the stomach, goes through to her spine, and she's paralyzed, becoming Oracle. But what they did do differently than the comic is in the movie they added some extra scenes in the beginning to kind of more establish Barbara as a definite character. Because with the graphic novel, you have issues to go back and actually look at. With the movie, people don't know, the story behind Barbara and who she is. And plus, it's also interesting to see how they interpret the Barbara in the new movie. And it's also good that they brought back the original members from the animated series. Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill as the Joker, Tara Strong as Batgirl. And that's one thing I have to applaud them with. That's honestly, when you are reading a graphic novel of Batman, say, and you were thinking of voices in your head, your mind automatically goes to Kevin Conroy as Batman, or possibly Michael Keaton or Christian Bale, or Ben Affleck if you guys like Affleck. I haven't seen Batman v Superman yet. And for the Joker, everybody's mind goes to Mark Hamill. He's like the definitive Joker for the animated series. So, again, sidetracked, but in the movie they do a little bit more diving into Barbara, a little bit of a mob crime in the beginning. She gets sidelined from it because the Paris Franz, I believe his name is, he gets a little personal and Batman's afraid that she doesn't understand. So he sidelines her, which works excellently. And a lot of turn events happens and she figures out why he benched her, because she almost kills him after a big fight between Batman and the mob that he runs. And she's sidelined. Story goes on, and we get to the part where Joker shows up, escapes Arkham again. Like, you can't keep him in there. He escapes every single time. So he shows up at Barbara's door, shoots her, takes Commissioner Gordon to a carnival he just recently bought to break him, to turn him basically kind of into himself. And how he does this is he just brutally, not like physically beats him, but just mentally just wears him down. And what really gets him is the one part, this is really, really psychologically disturbing, even for me. Joker, after shooting Barbara point blank, paralyzing her, he undresses her and takes pictures of the bloody mess, and it breaks Gordon so much. He's just a shriveling mess by the end of everything. Batman comes, saves Gordon, faces the Joker. He decides he wants to do this by the book. He wants to bring him into custody, and Batman tries to help the Joker. Joker declines. Tells Batman a joke. Batman actually starts laughing after a little bit, and the Batman puts his hand on Joker's shoulder, and you still hear them both laughing, and it pans down to a puddle. But then you only hear Batman laughing. Then it fades to the title. It's been discussed and proven Batman kills the Joker. And the story is canon in the DC universe. Unless Rebirth and the New 52 kind of messed that up. Haven't read any Rebirth either. But I still think it's a very good adaptation for what it is. It is very well done. If you cannot handle any kind of psychological messing with, don't go see it. I recommend reading the graphic novel first and then going to see it, so that way you can prepare yourself. It is a decent representation. If you're not the biggest fan of Batman, still go see it. It's definitely one of the most definitive Batman stories released out there. And it's also nice to hear Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy back together again. So, all in all, I think it's not as good as the graphic novel, but it is an equal, but not superior. I give it about maybe 6.5 to 7. It's a decent movie, but it's not the best they could have done with it. If they took out the parts with Barbara in the beginning, you could have had a half an hour movie on your hands, which they didn't want to do. The whole movie in total was an hour and 16 minutes, which was okay. So thank you guys for listening. Hopefully I'll be back up doing more videos. I apologize, I was busy working. I didn't have my computer, I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I didn't have a chance to make any videos. But since recently there was another Steven Bomb, I believe they called it. I don't know what they called it, but he returned to Beach City. There's a whole week of new episodes. I'll probably get back on the wagon, do more vlogs, possibly pull some other ideas out, maybe do a manga review, because I just recently read the first volume of the Space Dandy adaptation manga. Maybe do a book review. I'm currently on the 3rd book of the Kane Chronicles, which I recommend. Another good book from Rick Riordan, if you know the author. Or maybe just a movie or anime review. We'll see. So until then, guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your evening or day, depending on the time zone. Take care. Share the links. See you next time.